This is Franny. She's always looking fresh, and you know she's about her shoe game. This is Zoe Halbert. She's very fashionable, an upcoming actor, also in yearbook. This is your main money man, Lucas James. He's a talker guy, a radio guy, and he's also a human disco ball. This is famous rapper, Young James, author of Indians Baby. This is Isaiah Harding. He's a beast of an athlete and loves taking selfies. He's pretty much the new Colin. Our leader, semi-professional race car driver and a professional pool player, Seth LaFriends. This handsome, talented, lovable, and just overall extraordinary cast of characters in the CCHS newsroom form the super group, Seth's Posse.
Good morning, Clark County.
We're your hosts, Zoe
and Seth.
And today we're bringing you the news for October.
And what is October known for? Colder weather and the Cardinals choking in the playoffs.
And of course, Halloween. And now off to Franny, who's going to be introducing you to the new teachers in the building this year.
Thank you, Seth and Zoe, for the introduction. Now I'm going to be talking about our new teachers this year. First, we have Alex Mitchell. He teaches biology, concepts of biology, anatomy, and conservation in Missouri. Then we have Mrs. Catherine Smith. She teaches chemistry, health, integrated science, chemistry 2, and forensics. Then we have Mr. Ben Hendricksmeyer. He's actually our assistant band director. He teaches music appreciation, chorus, and he supervises the foreign language class. Miss Sandy Frazier, strategies, science resource, concepts of biology, and she teaches social science resource and transition. Then Mr. Daniel Walker teaches building trades, and now on to Lucas and Seth to talk about the requirements for college history.
Seth here with Lucas, and today we're going to talk about college history. So college history is a class through MACC. It's taught by Mr. Reardon, and it takes place during third hour this year, though it does change every single year. So just because it takes place third hour, if there's another class you want to take that's normally third hour, typically it doesn't stay the same class period throughout multiple years. So it might be like sixth hour next year or something like that. Not only that, but it does cost $234 if you want to be in the class per semester, and there's also a $10 book rental fee. And so our grades come from tests. We have 5 chapters before a test. There is also a term paper. In the term paper, pretty much what it is you take a specific topic that you want to talk about, and then you'll do a 5 to 6 pretty much like report, that's like research, like essay over that specific topic.
And it's got to be a very narrow topic. So I personally took the Stono Rebellion, which was a slave rebellion, and it took place in, was it South Carolina? Mm-hmm. And so pretty much the gist on that was slave escaped from their plantation and broke into a store and killed the store owner, took a bunch of guns, and tried to march towards Florida for freedom. What'd you choose?
I chose talking about the relationship between Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings. Sally Hemings was a former slave of Thomas Jefferson. When they went to France, they got in a relationship with each other, and he eventually freed her, and they had several kids together as well. Take college history. It's a pretty fun class.
Yeah, it makes you have a different outlook on really history from our standpoint. Like for like the American Revolution, we had to look at it as different, like Britain's side of the story, not just as ours.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. Mr. Reardon does a phenomenal job at it. You'll just learn a lot. So if you can afford it, and if that's something you're interested in, even if you're not interested in it, I'd say it's definitely a class worth taking.
Highly recommended.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Isaiah. I'm talking about cross country. We have competed in 10 meets so far this year, and we have 4 more left, which are Mexico, Bowling Green, districts, and state, if we have runners that go. We hosted the conference meet this year, which was at the golf course on the 3rd of October, and some of our runners that made the all-conference team are Mace McDaniel, who got 5th with a time of 17:56, Katie St. Clair, who got 10th, got her second team on conference with a time of 22:23, and Trinity Little, who got 13th, which got her on second team on conference with a time of 22:39. And some of our best runners this year are, for the girls team, Trinity Little, Katie St. Clair, and Mia Johnson, and the boys team, Harrison Parker and Mason McDaniel. Now I'm going to be interviewing Mr. Dahl and ask him a few questions about cross country this year. What have been some challenges of being a first-year coach?
There's been a lot of a learning curve this year, mainly with kind of some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, just paperwork and kind of what all has to be done, getting ready for meets, entries, stuff like that, and then just kind of learning just kind of the individual athletes, getting to know them and kind of what their abilities are and kind of how much to train them, how far to push them and stuff like that. So.
How do you get prepared for a meet?
In practice, really just our training and what we're doing kind of every day to get ready to get better. Before a meet, we're typically going a little bit lighter, maybe 20 to 25 minutes of kind of a light running, get good and warmed up, stretching really good, just kind of getting ready that way. Once we get to a meet, having kind of a set procedure as far as their warm-ups, dynamics, and stuff like that, typically starting 45 minutes before their race and just kind of making sure they're ready to go that way. Usually talk to them ahead of time, just kind of trying to make sure they know what they need to do for a given race and that they're ready to go.
Do you think we have a chance of any runners going to state this year?
Yeah, I think we do. I think we've got some individuals that have a good shot at qualifying. Our girls team is going to be really close. I think they've got a shot at making it as a team. So, top 4 teams go out of districts. It's a super district, so there are a lot more schools, but then they take the top 4 teams and then top 30 individuals. So, I think we've got a good shot.
How has running in high school and college helped you and prepared you for coaching and got you in that mental state and attitude?
Yeah, it's really helped me a lot. I've got a lot of experience to draw on, both as a high school runner and then running in college. Both kind of as training. I've had a lot of different coaches, so I've seen a lot of different training styles. So I've kind of got a lot of kind of a bank of experience there to pull from, as well as just kind of I've got a lot of experience in basically everything that they're dealing with, from practice to meets to juggling all the other things they've got going on right now, like band and FFA. So,
what do you think the hardest course that has been this year? They're gonna run or they have run?
Probably our home meet was definitely. As far as hills, was definitely the most challenging, and lots of good competition. We've got some really good schools in our conference now, so that was a really tough one. Used to be Hannibal and State both had some challenging courses, and they've both kind of changed a little bit over the last few years. And so I think now our home meet here was probably the toughest one.
All right, thank you for your time, sir.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, Isaiah. You and that fly seem to really hit it off well. Now I'm going to be testing the smarts of some of the people in our building, and if they can get my questions right, I will be rewarding them with candy. Destiny can answer my question and win a Jolly Rancher. Okay, Destiny, what is the hardest natural substance found on Earth?
Diamonds.
Wow, she got it right. Here you go. He was going to try to answer my question, and if she can, she gets this Jolly Rancher. Okay, so this one's really hard. What do the stripes on the American flag represent?
13 colonies.
Wow, she got it.
Thanks.
Okay, so Mr. Daw, what is the oldest word in the English language?
No idea.
It's town. If Zach gets this question right, he wins a Jolly Rancher.
Yay.
Okay, so name of an angle more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees.
145.
That's not a name.
Obtuse.
Obtuse, he wins. Enjoy your reward. So, can you answer this question for a Jolly Rancher?
Probably not, but we'll give it a try.
What letter has 3 syllables?
None.
W.
Well, I didn't get the Jolly Rancher. Dang.
Now here's Seth with the deets on the trap season.
I'm Seth here talking about the trap season. We had tryouts on the 27th of August. We held them at Bosco's, where we took the top 10 high scores, which were Aiden Jones, Drew Holstead, Wyatt Davis, Owen Burr, Aiden Plinge. And then on the B team would have been Devin Sisson, myself, Caden Kerfoot, Jed Nelson, and Luke Plinge. Then we went on to West Quincy, where on the 3rd of September, the team shot good with us having the high individual, Drew Holstead, with a 49 out of 50. Then our next shoot was Bosco/Memphis the following weekend, where we had Wyatt Davis winning high individual with a 50 out of 50. Then we went to the Green City Trap Shoot, which was held at Bosco's, where the team took 3rd and Aiden Jones leading the pack with a 49 out of 50. Next, we went to the area shoot at Bosco's, which the team placed 10th, where the top 5 scores moved on to state, which were Wyatt Davis, Aiden Plinge, Luke Plinge, Drew Holstead, and myself. Then we had our state shoot last Saturday, the 8th. The team shot very well. They shot a 443 out of 500, which we had 292s out of 100, which were Wyatt Davis and Drew Holstead. Myself with a 90 out of 100, and Aiden Plinge shot an 89 out of 100, with Luke Plinge shooting a 80 out of 100, which overall was a pretty good shoot. I think probably one of our better shoots out of the year. Now on to Franny, where she's going to talk about new teacher spotlights.
I'm with Mr. Mitchell. I'm interviewing him about our teacher spotlight. So, how was your first year of teaching in a high school been?
So it's been going pretty good. Definitely new learning experience. I've worked at a few other high schools for internships, and each one has been different. And of course, this one is of course different than all the others, just like last time. So it's a new learning experience.
So why did you choose to teach here?
So I've always enjoyed working in smaller communities. I grew up in the suburbs around the St. Louis, and I never liked it there. I always liked the smaller, more rural communities. And so when I saw there was a posting here, everyone seemed really enthusiastic to see me, so I decided to set up shop here for my first year.
So what classes do you teach, and upcoming classes that you're trying to bring on to high school?
So right now, what I'm teaching is general biology, concepts of biology, as well as Missouri conservation, where we're trying to learn about Missouri's wildlife and how to conserve it, as well as the last one, which is human anatomy, which is, of course, anatomy and physiology of the human body for especially people who are interested in going to the medical field. And as for classes I would like to bring to this high school, I would love to bring in a zoology class. I've always been a big zoology guy, so I'd love to try and teach a class like that.
Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Franny. And I'm going to be talking about the esports team so far this year. We've had a really good esports program, at least to this point of the year so far. In the spring, we play Valorant and Smash Brothers, but in the fall season, which we're doing right now, we do a mix of Overwatch and Rocket League, and they're doing a really good job so far this year. The Overwatch team is looking at a record of 2-1 right now. We've had a couple good wins, a close loss, and then also our Rocket League team's doing pretty good as well. We are currently 3-1, the Rocket League team is, and I look for this Rocket League team to make a push on into state. And we have a couple seniors as well that I'd like to give a shout out to. Shout outs to Jacob Euler, Lane McAfee, and Trenton Hardy, who are some seniors on the esports team as well. And anyway, I'd just like to give a big shout out to the esports team this year for doing a really good job. We're proud of you.
Seth here with Lucas James, and today we're going to have a little fun segment. It's going to be a one-on-one matchup between me and Mr. James here, and the loser has to give candy to the teacher.
Yeah, we're going to go 1s and 2s, 2-7. I think it'll be pretty fun. I'm going to get the ball first, so how about it?
that didn't go as planned for me, but good game.
Good game, man.
So
You got to pay up now, dude.
I have to pay up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some candy, and we're going to give it to Mrs. Somers.
Ooh, good choice.
So
Yeah, we'll see you.
thank you guys for watching. Let's get to the candy. All right, we'll see you then.
And we are back. I am here with notorious loser, also known as a regular Cowboys fan, Seth LaFrenz. Seth, you lost to me.
I did.
And
fair.
yeah, so as we just said, his punishment is now to give a piece of candy to, you said Miss Somers?
Yep.
All right, so
More
why
or less
don't-
a handful. You could say.
Yeah, why don't we get a nice little zoom on this? Yeah, that's an awful way to hold it. So
That is the point.
okay, well anyway,
I'm not a good loser.
I can tell. Again,
you should know.
Cowboys fan. Yeah.
Anyway,
So anyway, let's go give the candy, right?
here you go, Mrs. Somers.
Thank you very much,
There's your
Seth.
good deed.
Can you tell me why I had to receive this?
Well, believe it or not, I know I look talented at the sport of basketball, but it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't
So
enough.
what you're telling me is you lost.
Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. Over and out.
Thank you for tuning in to Seth's Posse's Newscast. We're your host once again, Zoe.
Seth, and our special guest, the Kansas City Chiefs.